Hey, I'm Nono, and welcome to the Strong Fitness app. This is Barre Basics, a great way for you to start your barre journey. So no matter where you're at in your fitness level, this is the place to begin. I suggest doing this guide in progression, because what we work on in this first class, we will build upon in the second and the third. So if you're ready, you need a ball or a pillow, rolled up towel also works, a set of light weights. I have 1 kg, but please know this can be done without, and a support, whether that's a chair, a wall, or a countertop. So if you're ready, we'll begin. Walk your feet out just a little bit wider. Toes forward, knees are soft. Feel that beat, start with a shoulder roll. So this will be a workout, but I'm going to take every opportunity I can to help guide you, finding your form and finding your flow into the barre program. Good. Isolation is part of what we do. So just start to feel the shoulders. Soft bend to the knees. We have 4 like this. 3, that beat's picking up. 2, we're gonna take some shoulder shrugs. Up, down, down. And as you drop the shoulders, stay proud and tall in the chest. Good. 8, 7, energy escaping through those fingertips. Whatever you don't need, let it go. Shoulders down, head roll around. Loosening up through the cervical spine. Depending on what time of day you're doing this, you might find that you slept a little funky. Other way, around. Working through any stress. 2 more times, around. Release. 1 more, around. Center out the head. We look right to left, right, left. This is just helping us navigate the range of motion as well as finding that beat, because we use the beat in barre. Good. 4 more, 3 more. Take it down to the floor, then ceiling. 1 down and 1 up. Especially if you're new to movement, the neck is constantly our guide. We look down at the phone, we look down at the computer, look down to read. Good. Roll the shoulders 1 more time, then open the arms out to a T. Soften the knees, and isolation through the rib cage. Reaching over to one side, over to one side. Good, now we're gonna laterally add the arms. So we reach over for 2, up for 2. Other way, reach. It's like you're arcing the rainbow, arcing the ribs like a rainbow. Might feel like there's chewing gum stuck between. A little bit quicker, use your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 4 more here, 4, good, 3, 2, hands to the hips. We find the groove, right, left, yes. So sometimes this movement in the pelvis can make you feel really uncomfortable. It's a vulnerable place to be. Maybe you're like, this is my jam and I like to wiggle my hips. Good. We're gonna take a hip circle in 3, in 2. Have a little fun with it, circle it around. So we're exploring that 360 motion the pelvis has. Good. So you're going curving forward, arching back, curling forward, arching back. Take it to the other side. This is important so that we understand how to shift our hips in certain movements. We've got 4, and we're gonna tuck it later. 3, classic barre move. 2, we find a wide second, and we're gonna grab our weights. So just move the ball to the side. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. Wide second is where we live in barre class. We open the feet from the hips, turn out the toes, bend the knees 1 way in either hand. Back is nice and straight, spine is tall, abs are in, just hold. Okay, stay there. I'm gonna turn sideways again. So we have this ability to rotate from the hip joints. We never want to think that that turnout, we call it, comes from the toes or the knee alone. It's always from the femur in the hip socket. Your wide second is as if you are up against a wall. And if you have a wall nearby, almost imagine that you're standing against it. That's how flat the back is. Doesn't matter how wide the turnout is, but knees are pressed open, engaging your external rotators, inner thighs, smile forward. Roll the shoulders back, good. Keep holding, there's work here. You feel that key build, right? 8 counts, 7, 6, 5. We're gonna add just a little bit of movement. Keep the chest proud. Little dip, little lift. Little lower, little up. This is your first experience here with small movements. Push into the floor. We don't just want to give way to gravity, yeah? So there's work both ways. We're sinking, but we're pushing to lift. 1 down, 1 up. I can feel my big toe pressing into the mat. And you feel that feedback in the muscles. Take it, tempo, pulse, pulse. Yeah. So what can happen if this is your first time at Barre? The magic of these small movements can really feel intense because that heat is starting to kick up in the muscles. This is not anything that you might be used to, even if you're a gym goer often, or if there's other forms of exercise you like, cycling, kickboxing. This is your first Barre class. Don't take this as a sign of being out of shape at all, or a sign of weakness. These things are just different. Yeah? We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Rotate the palms forward. Hold your legs bent. Bicep curl. Good. What can happen in class, because we like to work the full body and we like to do it efficiently and effectively. Elbows stay tucked in when we take this curl, but we notice we're still holding that wide second. We combine movements to get all that we can. Yeah? More bang for your buck, right? Bicep curls, strong in the wrists, all the way up, all the way down. We want to feel the full expression of that muscular power, okay? We add on, lower, down, little lift, little lower, little lift, lower, and lift. 4 more here, 4. Coordination is also a big part of class. Yes. Stay at the bottom, arms halfway pulse. Good. How's that feel? Now we add the hips. Pulse curl, pulse curl. Good. 8 to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly stretch the legs up, toe heel your legs back to center. Keep a hold of the weights, bring them towards the chest. You can anchor them together if they meet, just creating a little bond. Feet are about hip width, toes forward. Now we squat. 2 counts down, 2 counts up. This is now a totally different alignment to the wide second. Our squat is a hip hinge. We keep all 4 corners of the feet pushing firmly to the ground, but you may feel a little bit more load towards the heels. As we sit back, we want to make sure that we're not arching the back and opening up. So that's requiring the front abdominal muscles to knit together, lengthening through the tailbone as we zip up our pants. Good, nice and slow. Sit for 2. Stand. It's like you were going to sit onto the chair. I mean, I don't know why they say this, because let's be honest, does anybody sit on a chair? Does anybody sit down on a chair like this? But if you have a chair nearby, this could be good feedback. See, I hit the chair, down for 2, up for 2. Hold your squat, just hold. Hold, 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 stay low. Now, early on in my exercise days, I had a teacher give me a cue and I thought it was amazing and I want to share it with you. Imagine you're standing on newspaper, really thin paper. We know how easily that rips. And that you could almost separate the paper with your feet. So there's this slight outward pull. It's not a lot, it's subtle, but it's intense and it's triggering and firing a certain part of the external rotators, the outer thigh muscles that are gonna keep your alignment strong when we move faster, right? So this is where we build, this is where we apply some of that thought to the feeling. So as if you could separate paper, see if you can just have a slight opening of the bottom. It's so small, but I hope you can see it. 1 count, up and down. All right, let's flush it out. Yes, those muscles were starting to burn. You're like, I thought this was the basics, and it is. But this is your introduction into isolating, into welcoming in that bar fire, that burn that everyone talks about. It is real, and it is kind of addictive actually, because you know what? You're gonna come back for more. 4, 3, hold low, we tiny pulse. Lift lower, lift lower. Good. Roll the shoulders back, keep the chest proud. If you do start to feel this creep into the lower back here, just elevate your stance ever so slightly. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Finish for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Lengthen the weights, a few shoulder rolls. Now we're gonna take a hip hinge, not for the squat purpose, but for a chance to find our tricep kickback. The feet stay roughly the same. It's like you've been karate chopped at the hips. A soft bend in the knees, flat back, just like your tabletop. Arms down, palms face in. Start with the row. Pull, lengthen. No dome of the upper back. I almost want you to think there's a line from shoulder point to shoulder point. We don't want to lose it by curling in. We want to open it up. Row, row. Elbows about 45 degrees. Almost imagine you're pulling the weights towards your hips. And you're gonna get this activation through the back. Hopefully you can see something happening there. Squeeze. Good, new beat. 4 more rows, 4. And as we incline the body forward, even if we go a little bit farther, you'll see this gets a little bit harder. We've got 4, 3. I think I made you do more than I said, sorry. Hold it up. Now, elbows are tucked in. Think of a door hinge. Elbows stay. We extend the arms and bend. This is your tricep kickback. Pay attention to the wrists. This is a really great place to work on habits, because once we do something a few times over, the muscle memory will start to be applied as we continue the process. Yes. Extend and bend, because what can happen is we do something back here with the wrist. You see that? So we want one line from the elbow to the knuckle. This is your tricep kickback. And it is so important, please understand, we aim for the full length of the extension. We want the whole tricep to be extended because triceps are extenders. So we're gonna properly work them when we engage them to their maximum length. All the way out, all the way in. If you know you're hyperextended, this is a nice opportunity. Mind-body connection. Use a mirror even after this video, or film yourself so you can look back at what you see. Because my whole point behind this is to perfect for you. Not to be perfect, but to get yourself into a position that feels familiar. I know, we're still working those triceps. See how it creeps in? Those weights are light, but don't be fooled. We hold them straight. Little pulse, up. Palms in. Sustain the stretch. Pulse, up, up. Yeah, we're racking it. Good, palms to the ceiling, keep lifting. Pulse, pulse. You should have felt a shift in the muscle that was working. Try not to drop the head or tuck the chin, okay? Lift it up. Open up the throat, keep the breath strong. 8 more and we're out of this. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That was great work. Let's set the weights down. We're gonna need the support. We're coming into lower body. We're completely switching directions. We're gonna find our calf muscles. So with the use of a support, you know what? I'm gonna use the wall for right now. And I'm gonna face back. Let's bring the feet hip width apart in parallel. Hands to the wall or to the support. Legs are straight. Wrap your glutes together. We lift 2 counts. Heels up, heels lower. Heels lift, heels lower. Slow to the top, slow to the bottom. Notice it's not a pop, it's not a drop. It's lift, lower. Lift for 2, lower 2. Okay, keep going. Very, very important, and this is where we train the coordination of the engagement of the lower half of the body. We want strong ankles. So, as you lift the leg up, I'm bending my knee just to show you, but as you transfer the weight to the ball of the foot, we want to make sure that the weight is going center over the ball of the foot. We don't want it to wing out. This is very poor for the ankle, for the calf, for the knee, for the hip, everything, right? It's one chain. So, and we don't want to roll in. Depending on the arch, maybe this is your high heel because of the stretch of the ankle. So we can work on things like this, but this is your guidance. Aware, high and low with control. We're gonna speed it up a little bit quicker. 1 lift, 1 lower. Strong ankles, parallel like popsicle sticks. Makes me want a popsicle, actually. And it's important, we're engaging our quads so the kneecaps lift towards the hips. 4 more, 4, good. 3, slow and controlled. 2, whoop. 1, and slowly release. Now I want you to bring your feet together. Sink back on the heels just enough that you can rock and open the toes. Did you see that? Close it, open it. This is your natural turnout. What I talked about in that wide second. If you place your hands on your hips, you can feel your external rotators. Open, close. Find the V, and if you look down, you should see a V shape in your feet. Heels are connected. We come to this position a lot. You'll hear me say V your feet. This is what I mean. Even if you have more, maybe you're a ballerina and you've been trained for that excessive turnout. This is not necessarily the position we want to work out in, okay? So just narrow that up a bit. Let's try a V calf. Lift, lower, lift, lower. So my toes are open slightly, heels together. We rise, we lower with control. Lift, slowly lower, squeeze lift. Legs are straight, shoulders, ribs, hips, everything is in one line. Lift, slowly lower, lift, slowly lower, lift. 4 more, 4. The heels will separate at the top of this calf lift. That's not normally what happens in our positions, but today I want that feeling of high and low. High and low. Yes. Really tall. This is a beautiful opportunity to work on your presence, to work on your posture. If you're somebody that has a little bit of a dome in the front or in the back body, roll the shoulders back, yeah? And even if you have never danced before in your life, we can envision the presence and the poise of a ballerina, yeah, of a dancer, of their confidence. I want you to start to build that for yourself. Embrace the skin you're in. Yeah, hold it at the top. Find your balance. See if you can feel the center of your foot. Maybe bring the arms in front of you. Good, they can reach forward if you don't want to feel like a rounded position. Yeah, maybe guide the arms up to the sky. Make sure we're not over-rotating. Keep the ribs closed. Legs are straight. Find the glutes. Find the breath. 8 counts. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Oof. Let's just take a moment to stretch that out, okay? So left leg forward, right leg back, heel towards the floor, lengthening through the calf muscle. And we've got 2 calf muscles, one big one on the outside that takes the shape, and one little one that kind of sneaks around and in. So to strengthen the Achilles or stretch the Achilles, very softly just bend the knee. Yeah. This is great. If you're a tennis player or paddle player, you've got quick movements where you're jolting from one side to the other very quick on the feet. Your Achilles and your calf muscles respond to that movement a lot. So Barre is very helpful for a multitude of activities you might enjoy. Obviously, I mean, I'm dedicated to it, but this is why I believe in the power of it, because it's transversal. It works for everybody. Good, take another breath in, softly bend the knee. And the purpose of this program is to move slow enough that you can take a moment. Yeah, we want instant gratification, right? But let me tell you, this and what you have, your body, our health, it's not Amazon Prime. Okay, so we need a little bit of patience. We are moving on to core work. So let's grab the ball and let's bring it down. We're gonna place the ball roughly around the small portion of our back. There is a little bit of space here. You can see my hand waving to you. We're gonna hug the hamstrings, feet are flat. Take an inhale to roll the shoulders back, C-curve the spine. So we're gonna roll the tailbone underneath, scoop the abs in as we give into the ball. Just hold it here. Yeah, okay. Maybe you can release the arms forwards. I want you to see my core. So, if I'm not using my breath, what will happen is my rectus abdominis, which is my six pack, it's gonna push outwards and dome like a bread loaf. It doesn't matter what body type you have. Generally, we call this the bread loaf. It goes for everybody. It's just a general term. Please don't get offended. That's the rectus abdominis here. We wanna work the transverse abdominis. If you like apples, with peanut butter please, but if you like apples, think of an apple core. It's 360 degrees, just like our core. So we want this band of transverse abdominal muscles to light up. What we can do is practice an S breath. So you're gonna inhale and exhale. You see that went pretty flat here. It wasn't about necessarily glowing flat, but I got rid of my bread loaf because I activated the band underneath that superficial six pack. So take an inhale again, exhale. Now you're gonna feel like you're out of breath, right? But we wanna be able to breathe with that contraction, and that takes practice. That takes flipping habits, okay? So we practice. Tuck it under, we breathe. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 2 more, inhale, exhale, 1 more, inhale, exhale, hold, keep the breath for a little lift, little lower, little lift, little lower, come up and down. Notice I'm not arching over the ball. This is something different. We want to keep this connected. So give the ball air, then sit back down. Good. Give the ball air, then sink back down. We find an accent up with the pulse. Little lift, little lift. I'm definitely feeling my powerhouse light up here. For me, core work is so much about being slow and strong than it is about being quick. Okay, 8 times and we're gonna change it up. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit all the way up. Press the ankles, roll the shoulders back, open up through the abdominal wall, and then grab the ball. We're gonna place it between the knees. We're gonna lie flat onto the mat. So, nice and long. Ball is between the knees or the inner thighs. Hands to the ground. Align the spine to neutral. Now, I have a natural curve. Probably you do too. Most of us don't have a flat spine. So I don't want us to think that we have to over-rotate the pelvis so much so that the lower back has to touch. We want to think about that corset. Connecting us in. Start to squeeze your ball as you take an exhale with that in mind. And please sound like a snake. I mean, I can't hear you, so. But maybe the members of your household or your hotel neighbor are kind of wondering what's happening in there. But it's important. We take it a little bit quicker. Squeeze, squeeze, in. Keep this tight. So we're working our adductors, our inner thighs as we feel the core. 8 like this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it in, hold. 8 counts, keep breathing, 7, breathe, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Slowly pull the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. And then bring your legs to tabletop. Ball stays, come back to the squeeze. In, squeeze. I can feel quite a lot of inner thigh work here actually. So maybe if you're not feeling much on the core, we're at least activating through the legs. Finding that new beat. Good, breathing out. Hold it, stay for 8, 7, squeeze, change the shape of your ball. 4, 3, 2, neutral. Reach the arms forward, we start to pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in through the nose. In through the nose. These are classic Pilates pumps. Some of you might know this already. I like to match the beat of the music, so instead of doing a 5 count, we do a 4 count. So it's smacking water on either side. And if you want a little bit more, you're ready, we add the upper body curl. So inhale to prepare, exhale, upper body curl, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. The arms have purpose, there's power. A slight tuck of the chin, connecting upper and lower abdominal muscles. Be careful of the neck, don't lean forward. Yeah, pull it back. 2 more rounds. Last round. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Ball comes behind the head, feet are flat. I have a pretty big ball. This is a nice pillow, to be honest. If you have a yoga block, that works, and if you have nothing, just the hands. The point of this position is to allow us to protect the neck and not have to think about using the front here. So we're gonna take a tiny little lift. Exhale, exhale. Because my ball is pretty big, I'm gonna actually release my ball quite a bit. There we go. Okay, lift, lower, exhale. It's actually kind of hard to speak as I breathe out because that's how deep the contraction is. Elbows are open, pulse to the top, up. Secure the feet. We're really bringing this, just the top part of the abs to life here. Little pulse. Final 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, set everything down. Take a nice extension. Open yourself all the way up. And then rock and roll yourself to a standing position. And we're gonna come back to our feet. Using a support, we found that V already when we were doing our calf work. So stand neutral, zip it up, rock it back, open the toes. Now, we're gonna hover the heels. Let's say the heels separate. Just slide one foot in until the heels are kissing heels. We bend the knees, bringing the hips down, looking for this diamond shape. My back is tall and proud. My abs are in. My glutes are over my heels. We start slow. Little pulse down, little pulse up. Notice I'm barely moving. We're in a vulnerable position as we hover our heels off the mat, balancing on the balls of our feet. If I turn sideways, again, guide up and down the wall. Think about the wall at the back. One down, one up. One down, one up. What tends to happen? Almost instantly, the quads are gonna start to feel this, the front of the legs, the front thigh muscles. So our body, because we're hardwired in a way to make things easier, obviously, is gonna start to lean forward. And you'll notice, try this, like this is part of the experiment. Lean forward and feel how this no longer is giving your thighs much load. Because what we've done is we've given it to the glutes and the hamstrings. So we want to pull ourselves up, zip up through the front of the pants, squeeze the glutes and stay stacked. Pulse it down, down. With that said, there are times throughout a sequence I might tell you to incline on purpose. But for the point of this video right here, we're explaining this stacked posture. That's what it means. 8 more here, a little lower. We have 4, 3. Now let's introduce the tuck of the hips. Tuck, release, tuck, release, tuck. Good. Stay there. Keep moving. I'm gonna just explain something. The manipulation of this pelvis, we're articulating the range of motion. So our pelvis is like a bowl. We're going underneath. Imagine a dog that did something bad, right? Their tail's gonna sweep in underneath. The movement of the pelvis does not affect the posture, so don't round the whole spine. We're just rounding. Squeeze your glutes like you could pinch a pencil back there. A little bit faster. Tuck it, under, under. We're also getting a little abdominal action here. In, exhale, exhale. Good, 1 pulse, 1 tuck. Down, up, tuck. Down, up, tuck. So we will combo movements often in one position, just changing the choreography to keep us curious, to keep our muscles moving in various ways. Good, 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Now, watch what happens, lift your heels a little higher. They separate. So let's re-walk them back together. Find a pulse. High heels boost the intensity. I'll repeat that. High heels boost the intensity. So what might start to happen is you can see little vibration going on, shaky legs. Yes? I assure you, I have never ever had a client's legs fall off. So you might get to a point where you're like vibrating and you think, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm gonna make it through. Trust me, you will. Mind over matter, because we're also building a mental strength with this bar program. Yeah, good. Let's try the tuck at the high heels. Tuck, tuck, tuck. We can feel with that other hip, we've got that feedback. Bring those heels together. Yeah, they cannot separate. Why do we bring the heels together? I forgot to tell you. Because we want to protect the knees. So the heels together, whether they're high or whether they're low, is giving us an artificial joint, a bind of resistance. Yeah? Good. All right, proud and tall. We finish here 8 times. 8, 7, 6. We're back to the ground after this in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice job. Round of applause for the quads. Moving anything off of your space, I just need you and your mat. We're in tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Now, I'm not gonna wrongfully assume that you know what tabletop is. So we wanna stack our joints, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Your palms are flat like pancakes, opening up the fingers. When we start to establish the strength of this foundation here, this is where our planks are built from, okay? Knees are underneath your hips. Draw the lower abs in, find neutral in the spine. Strong through the crown of the head and the tail. Hold it here, we'll take a classic cow cat. Inhale, drop the lower belly, look up and forward. Exhale, round, push into the ground, separate the shoulder blades, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, round, separate the shoulder blades, scoop everything in. One more, inhale, open. Exhale, round and ground. Now neutralize and stabilize at the tabletop. Let's learn about what the shoulders do back there. So we're gonna sink the shoulder blades, they come together. Now we're gonna separate the shoulder blades and push. Retract the shoulder blades together. Protract the shoulder blades apart. I know it's hard to see me, so I'm gonna use the wall. Elbows stay straight. We squeeze them in, then we're gonna push them away. And if you're having a hard time on the ground, come to a wall like this. Sink the shoulder blades together, push the shoulder blades apart. Sink the shoulder blades together. Scapula push-ups. This is a beautiful workout for the upper back. Okay, we'll do one more here, then I'm gonna come back, we're gonna speed it up. Take it a little bit quicker. Down, up. What will happen is you're gonna wanna bend the elbows straight through the joints. So when my biceps, my triceps are engaged. 4 more. Do not move the other portions of the back, just the upper back. Now hold the protraction. Hold, 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 hold. Big breath in, big breath out. You're done in 4, in 3, in 2, and release. Child's pose. Good, stretch the arms forward, big breath. And now we're coming back up to the tabletop. We're gonna work on a glute kickback. Walk your knees together for a little stability. My left leg is facing you, so I'm gonna start with my left leg. It's going back behind me. All the way straight, squeeze the glute, lift it up. This is a nice place to begin so that you can feel your maximum lift. Because what happens is sometimes we will have this visual in our head of what we see online, and we want to kick the leg a little bit higher because we can. This is not sustainable because you see what happened to my low back? Now I've given a little bit too much, and that's when people start to have some overuse of the low back. And my shoulders totally out of whack. So we're gonna push the shoulders. We're gonna lower the leg. I'm gonna zip up through my core. Feel the glute engage. Squeeze this muscle as deep as you can. Now we pull in, out. Little donkey kick. Not like this. Good. Stillness in the parts that are not moving. So we're holding structure. 4, 3, all the way straight. 2, extend through the joint. 1, hold it straight, little pulse up. So once we understand the maximum lift that we have available there, the extension from the hip, the squeeze from the glute, now we just play with different movements. There is an endless amount of options that can happen from our tabletop to our glute. Good, keep it here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hold it still, lower to the forearms because this might be something else we do. Low tabletop, elbows over shoulders, 1 in, 1 out. Try not to drop the head. Push, 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 push. 4, 3, 2, hold it back, little lift, up and up, lift, lift. Good, you have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly pull it in, wag your tail side to side. That's very nice. We're gonna sit onto the right hip now. Left leg is on top, mermaid. Right elbow underneath the shoulder, left forearm is flat. You can use your ball, mine's a little deflated now, but it can come underneath the rib cage. This is a great place to have some support for the bottom obliques because what tends to happen is we sink. So push away. Heels are in line with my glutes. Knees are 3/4 bent. We call this a mermaid because, I like the mermaid. Posing. Hips are stacked. We're gonna start with a clamshell. A lot of people know that clamshell. Little lift, little lower. Connection at the feet. You can flex the top foot so the heels pivot together. Stay here 4. We're gonna work on internal, external rotation in 3, 2, 1. Bring it neutral, find a pulse. Our tabletop was focusing on the back part of our booty. Now we're working on this side glute medial. Stay lifted. Hold it here, knees tap. In, toes tap out. Knee to knee, toe to toe, a little bit quicker, in, out. Now, our body wants to do a little twisting dance. Stay parallel. Good, in, out, mobilizing, creating more mobility, more lubrication in the hip joint. Let's take it just a little bit faster. Tap, in, out, tap, 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 tap. Good, just a few more here. 16, 15, 14, 13. 8, 7, 6, 5. Bring it back to that pulse, up. Stretch it all the way straight, flex the foot. Good, reach the left arm overhead. Just reaching and lengthening through that lower body for something different. Now reach that arm towards the foot. We've got this upper abdominal crunch. We're welcoming into the obliques. Proud and present, final finish here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. All right, back to your tabletop. I'm gonna turn around so you can see me. Now, we know how to get here. We don't need to do any of that setup. Think about the back, push away, walk the knees in, right leg out, lift it up. Is that as high as you should go? Good, in and out, in and out. Try not to kick it too high. Engage and press. Engage and press. Next one, hold it straight and strong. We lift it. Up, up, press, press, lift, lift. 8 times 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Lower to the forearms. 1 in, 1 out. It's in and out. When we use our own body weight, we have to bring ourselves into a place where we find our own resistance. 4, 3, 2. Imagine you're pushing through peanut butter. Hold it out, pulse it up to the top. We're gonna sit and switch for mermaid to finish us up. You've got this, stay with me. Final 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Sitting onto the left hip, left elbow down, mermaid, clamshell, 1 open, 1 close. Ball if you need it. Anchoring your point of connection at the heels, in line with the glutes, knees forward. You've done such a great job today, everybody. Now find a neutral pulse. Separate the feet, lift it up. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slow, in, out, in, out. Yes. Rotate from the hip. Feel this wrap effect as we get the glute. Try not to sink, even I have to remind myself, a little quicker. Tap, 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 tap. Yes. Work, work. Get that burn. We extend that leg for the finisher. Back to neutral, stretch it out, lift. Right arm overhead for a little lift, a little open of the side body. Now draw that right arm towards the hip. Look towards that right foot. All the way straight, lengthen through the inner thighs. Final 8, 7, 6, 5, out in 4, out in 3, last 2, 1 and done. Amazing, round of applause for that glute. Everybody, well done. Look, I really hope this program is something that you can come back to. Push pause, press play, revisit it anytime that something doesn't make sense in a series that you might advance to, because learning barre is the best. I'm so happy to be able to introduce it to you. My name is Nono. This is the Strong Fitness app, and I look forward to seeing you back for Barre Basics number 2.